Looks good, man. Looks good. Uh, what's going on, man? Okay. Yeah, you might be boned, man. Hmm. And you have no like alternate emails or it was long before. Yeah, I know. Long before two-factor authentication. That's funny, man.
You guys couldn't hear shit I was just saying. Because apparently, my thing on here was still muted.
So basically, Doc was telling the story about how he realized why it is he can't be Dr. Zeus on YouTube because it's under a legacy account, which he can't recover.
It's so stupid.
Yep.
But anyway, you guys didn't get to hear me ask, but seriously, what did you guys think of the new intro? I thought it was pretty freaking awesome.
It looks good, man.
Mr. Darren Horn here. This dude right here. He's the one that put together that whole track for me. He said
Oh,
he
I didn't hear. So wait, I had your stream on mute because I don't want like the dual or the echo or anything like that.
Oh,
did
okay.
You, so you played the track that I wrote?
Yes.
Oh shit.
So once the countdown hits 0, your track starts with the click, 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 and then it goes into it.
Oh, see, when the final product, like after the vocals are laid down, so what you, all right, what y'all heard, that's basically there's dry recordings, and then there's think of it like a rough draft, and then you have a semifinal, and then you have the final product, the final output that you release.
That did not look like it was in like, 5-paragraph format.
Well, I mean, if you want to do the lyrics, it can break out the stanzas.
Oh, dude, can you write it in all haikus?
Right? Fuck you.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
But yeah, so that's not like once the vocals are laid down, then it goes into another, basically through another filter where I trim out the intro clicking, and then basically do a fade out on the end.
So the fade out is there.
It is, but it isn't. So where it's actually going to fade out is that last after that last chorus where it goes back into like a quasi intro.
Mm-hmm.
It's right at that first beat. That's when the fade out's actually going to start.
And it's just going to be that riff over and over again into a fade out, or is it going to be the one note fade out like it is now?
No, it's going to be that riff over and over again to a fade out.
That would be, dude, if I could get that riff, just like I said, just so I can throw that in the beginning, that would be so great. Apparently, Mark also wants a theme song. Oh, I also did have to bring up, guys, if you have not seen it yet, we do, in fact, have our very first emote out here. Missa made this last night. So those of you that love to spam and chat one of us, we now have one.
I still need to do a emote.
So I have access to 5 emotes as of right now. Do you want the one of us?
No, I'm good. I have an idea of an emote that I want to create.
All
And that will be like my learning curve. So my learning curve first off was with channel points. If you go to my stream, by the way, me and Doc are doing a dual stream right now. If you go to mine and you look at my channel points, I basically just took the existing ones and then customized them for the channel points I wanted to create. So that's why they're so plain Jane.
I do not have channel points set up yet. Mine are even more plain.
No, you don't, fucker, because I was gonna make you exercise like you were back in basic. Yeah, I have 56,000 channel points from you.
Do you have any idea how many I would have if I didn't make you do Broadway musicals?
Oh my god.
Okay, because that was what, 20k per?
Yeah.
And how many times have I made you do that shit?
Once.
Like 5 times, and that's why you got rid of the shit?
Not 5 times. You did it once.
I have been in there and watching pretty much every one of your streams, lurking in the shadows. That like streak, that login streak to the channel, that really adds up quick. So like my one today, because I think I missed your stuff on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think I missed your stuff, but today I got like 300 channel points just for logging in for the first time on the streak. And then I'm a sub, which means that all my points are doubled for you.
But yeah, you redeemed the choose my loadout, and the conundrum. So I uninstalled Blizzard and Call of Duty because I'm so fucking sick of the 6328 errors. I'm so sick of the shaders not loading and the connectivity issues that it has. The problem is I can stream from. Hey, what's up, Weapon? I can stream from. I can stream from the PlayStation to Twitch. That's not a problem. The problem is the PlayStation now becomes the computer. So it's whatever components that are plugged into the computer. And that being the webcam. I don't have a webcam for the PS4. So, and that's like one of the biggest detractors to viewership.
Yes.
Is not having a webcam. Because they want to see a reaction to fucking shenanigans.
And they want to see the face that makes the Homer scream.
The face behind the Homer screen?
Yes, they want to see the face behind the Homer screen. Yeah. I am sad that you uninstalled it. I know that Blizzard's been an absolute shit show. I still don't think it's Blizzard. I still think it's just straight Activision, because it does not happen on any of the other games that I play. And I play multiple Blizzard games. I mean, hell, my main game that I stream is a Blizzard game from, what, 2012, I want to say?
The only game I have ever played from Blizzard is Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and it has been nothing but a nightmare experience. And all the other games that I have are straight through fucking Steam.
Yeah.
Never had a problem with them.
Which is why you should play Paladins. It's through Steam.
I don't care. I watched it. Don't care for it. So I have Call of Duty on the PS4, and I've been working at that account. But I like how Alex Balbanes has like the exact date.
It's things that Google can answer, as you like to say.
So I have Call of Duty on the PS4, and I can stream straight from the from the PS4, but I have no webcam for it. Therefore, there's no point in fucking doing it. Secondly, I have an Elgato, but I was testing it out today, and I'm still confident that there's an issue with the HDMI cable. So for those looking,
for those playing the home game,
see, that's why I didn't. My PS4 is right down there. The only other solution is to move my PS4 all the fuck way over here and find a home for it, which is kind of impossible given my setup. And then run an HDMI cable through the Elgato and go it that way. But the other problem is the Elgato cuts out when I play either the Nintendo Switch or the PS4 on the occasion. So I think the Elgato's going bad, but I barely run into issues on the Nintendo Switch. So I think it might be a frequency error as far as what the Elgato can handle against the PS4. It could also be the TV that I'm running on. I don't know, but the logical steps in debugging is I need a new HDMI cable, a new Elgato, and a new TV. And until that happens, no more shrubs and dubs.
Then what are you going to do with all of this newfound free time of yours? Because you've just gained like 20 hours a week.
Not 20, 10 hours a week.
Well, that's your morning stream, and then you have your like afternoon or evening stream.
I'll find something to substitute.
And then you have your like twinsy stream or whatever it is, if you want to start going into like Merry and Pippin's lunch schedule. That's kind of how I feel that your streams were.
I used to do morning coffee, which was just like a just chatting, just to fuck around and weapon. Don't I have a 4K capture card? I do, and I spoke of that. So I have the Elgato HD60S Plus, something like that. It's basically one tier below the actual 4K 60, which I think is the one I might need. The problem is that's a $300 device. So, but I don't think that's the issue. I think it might be the HDMI cable that I'm running, and that's the first thing I need to replace. Because the HDMI cable running into my TV occasionally would just cut out when it was just PlayStation to TV.
So what it sounds like, Darren, is that me and you both just have problems with newer technology. Me with email addresses and bullshit.
This wouldn't be a problem if Activision knew how to build a fucking game.
It's the Battle Royale. It's the 150 people. Because here's the thing, like, we can go play multiplayer and you won't have any of those problems. You don't get DC'd for multiplayer. Right. You won't get DC'd from the campaign. You won't get DC'd from co-op. It is literally just the Battle Royale.
And a lot of these issues really started happening when they merged Cold War.
Well, right. And apparently one of their fixes, and this is actually one of their forum fixes, is, well, if you own Cold War, these issues are less likely to happen. And there you go. Like, I had no issues at all until they had the Cold War free weekend. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I downloaded Cold War, I played some Zombies, and don't get me wrong, Zombies was a lot of fun. I played Outbreak, which is like an open world type thing with a bunch of zombies in there. I played it all solo because, I have no friends. But that was what I did for like a week when I wasn't streaming, and it was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But as soon as the free weekend ended, I now cannot play unless I log in through an Asian or a European server.
Yeah, and I tried that too, and I was still running into straight DCs, like the in-game error catches.
See, mine wasn't. Mine was the unable to connect to server at the very beginning, or disconnected from Battle.net servers, but they're literally saying that it's not a Battle.net thing, that it's Activision. Like I said, I had someone ping it. And
I was running into those errors on both the Asian and European servers. So
did you try running the repair again?
I gave up. I'm like, that yesterday was my last straw.
You kind of rage quit.
I didn't just rage quit. I rage uninstalled. Weapon saying, try the cable first for sure. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Make sure that it's proper 1080p 60 hertz. I know my TV is 1080p. I don't know about 60 hertz.
It should be.
But when I run it straight to the TV, mm-hmm. It's not it works, but on the occasion it cuts out, which instantly tells me it's the HDMI cable. Because I have a switcher for this TV back here, and this TV is never a problem. So and the cool thing I have about that switcher over there is it doesn't even require power. It's just it's zeros and ones. It cuts off one connection, establishes another.
I am looking at your TV stand back there. I think that's the one that I had in my old condo in Simi.
Yeah. So when I had an apartment in Simi, I was living at Wood Ranch Villas, and that TV was perfect for the size of that living room. When I buy a house, I'll probably get a bigger one.
Yeah, I've got a 65-inch over behind me. One
Yeah.
of these days, I will take a tour of the house. You guys can see my abode, since all you really get to see is a refrigerator and a fuzzy microphone. But
that's all people really need to see at some point. Unless you're going to Vegas, then you just stream from your phone.
Okay, I need to get a new phone before I do that. All right, real talk. Anyone else? What is better, the Samsung Galaxy 20 or the 21?
There's virtually no difference. I just had this conversation with my dad because he's in the market for a new phone. I think he's like midlife crisis point because he just got a PS5 digital edition. He wants to get on the Call of Duty bandwagon, which is cool.
Which is just in time for you to uninstall it. Aren't you a great son?
I know. Such an asshole. So he just got a PS5. After years of never owning a console, he's not like, they now have a Nintendo Switch. They got a PS5. Anyway, another shopping list thing he has is a brand new phone. And he was asking me, should I get the Samsung A51, A71, the S20, the S21, the S10? What do I do? And I'm like, well, are you going to take a shitload of pictures and be a, not necessarily a streamer, but are you going to take pictures of shit all the time? He's like, no. And I'm like, well, then that pretty much rules out any of the latest and greatest. If all you're looking for is storage size, which is hilarious because he deletes everything he gets, including text messages, then I'm like, if storage is what you're worried about, then pretty much any phone that you're looking for will do that. You just need to choose one that you like best. And he, like me, is loyal to Samsung. So he wants to stay within that product line. And my dad is the type of person that will he will accept a lifetime bottle supply of human shit if he's told that it's free shampoo. Operative word is free.
Yeah.
So he's trying to keep it as cheap as possible. And I guess he got a deal with Verizon where he could buy it outright because they changed those policies since I did a short stint at Verizon years ago and hated it.
Yeah, you made it sound like a prison term just now. So yeah, I did 3 years down at Verizon. What you in for? Sales. Oh, I think we lost Aaron. It's alright, he should be back in a minute. So, see, these are the kind of things that make me think it's not Activision. It's Darren. He can't even stay connected to Discord.
No, it's Discord.
It's everything but you.
The things that I hate don't fucking work.
Well, then stop hating them. Stop hating everything.
The reason I hate, so like Discord for something like this makes perfect fucking sense. Darren. But is Discord hold on. You're not going to get me off this bandwagon. Discord is a great concept. It's a great idea. I've never disputed that. However, I think there we go. But is Discord the only option out there?
For what we do, it is
what we're doing right now. Is it the only option?
I guess we could do Zoom.
What's another option?
And
don't think within the constraints of personal shit. You can think business too.
Fine. You could come over here and we could sit down for a drink while you talk to me on a much better rig and a better internet connection away from crazy girlfriends and crazy roommates. Fuck with me, Darren.
That's not what I'm talking about. All right, so there's Zoom, there's MSM Teams, even Facebook Messenger has a multi-person fucking system. All right. It's not the only option out there. Google Meets, there's another one. So in that regard, sure, Discord is great because it's an application within Windows that I can specifically assign in something like Streamlabs. And it's not a problem. All right. But as far as in-game is concerned, I don't give a shit that I can't hear someone in the pre-lobby screen or the pre-loading screen because I'll eventually hear them when the game starts up.
And what happens when they DC, like somebody in this conversation?
Then that's fine. The rest of the team will eventually know that I DC'd. Or I can just instantly send them a message. Hey, I DC'd. Finish your game. Pick me up.
And what are you sending them a message through?
Facebook Messenger.
So you want...
Or a text message.
So you want a secondary thing to fix the shortcomings of a primary thing instead of just using the secondary thing full time, never having those shortcomings.
Because I'm rarely going to use that secondary thing.
Here's the thing, like for me, it makes things so much easier, especially for like myself. Let's say we want to have a larger conversation than just a couple of people. Let's say we're doing an in-game thing, right? And then afterwards we want to do something else. So we'd load up another program. So let's say that we want something aside from that. So we'd have to load up a third program.
Okay.
So you want to continue to add on these things that literally Discord does. It does all of it.
Is that what I do?
That wasn't what the question was. The question was why.
That's the question now, because it's relevant to me. I hate Discord because it's a third-party system that I rarely ever fucking use. The only time I ever use Discord is specifically with you. I don't ever use it for any, well, other than the stream that we have. But then again, it makes sense to use it for the podcast because of the fact of its versatility. Yeah, we could still use Zoom. We could still use Facebook Messenger, whatever options out there that works. Discord makes more sense because it's application based and Streamlabs instantly picks it up. But as far as switching from one game to another with a group of people is not something I do. Therefore, I hate the concept of Discord because now it's another application I have to use.
Hey, Darren,
again, the hatred is central to me.
Can you tell me how to, like, turn down Joe's half-child or whatever it is when it's screaming in the background through in-game?
There's nothing you can do about that.
Can you tell me how to, other than mute a person, turn down rap music if someone's playing it too loudly, or completely negate the entire conversation of other people if you don't really want to hear it and have a private room to yourself? There are shortcomings.
Sure, there are shortcomings, but
now, if the in-game things had a volume thing to where I could turn somebody down, and some games have it, but a lot of those things is I'm having to mess with individual settings on every one of these games instead of just hitting mute. And it's just so much more reliable to be able to do something like that. Let's say you have a huge lag spike. It means that, so let's take Call of Duty, for instance, all right?
Okay.
This really came through much more when I was playing competitive Overwatch, because it was competitive tournaments and everything else. But, let's say that I have a huge lag spike. I'm talking that my shit is dropping to... And as we know, it's more than likely it's game. It's not connection, right? As we've... So let's say that we're going through or anything like that. It's call it quads in a tournament. Okay. And all of a sudden I'm lagging. I cannot tell you guys that I am lagging. I cannot tell you guys I am about to lag out in that in-game chat. You guys will not hear it until I am either gone and you guys figure it out, or I finally come back through and it's been 7, 10, 15 seconds. How long does it normally take for us to wipe a team if they're sitting somewhere?
Okay.
Less than 15 seconds.
But as far as the application and its preference is concerned, that's central to the individual. And you play a whole shit ton of, well, I don't know about a whole shit ton because you mostly stream Diablo, but I'm gonna make the guess that you play a lot of different games that would warrant the use of Discord because you probably run with the same crew, at least through at 2 games, at least 2 of them. And I'm gonna name drop Bombshell as one of them.
Let's call him Dropship.
No, Drop Bombshell.
Okay, for some reason I thought you were calling him Dropship.
It was a tongue twister because I was like name drop Bombshell. But again, I don't. Mm-hmm. So the only game that I primarily play is Call of Duty. I will play Zelda or Mario 3D World, but Mario 3D World is like a temporary thing. Once I 100% and I'm done. Mm-hmm. I'm never gonna fucking touch it again. Zelda's kind of its own thing because I'm partial to Zelda. Mm-hmm. Not even Mortal Kombat. I bought MK10, played it for like 10 minutes. I haven't touched it since.
So how would you?
But as far as streaming is concerned, the only games I care to stream are the ones that I know would provide a lot of entertainment. And I know with Call of Duty, that's one of them. Years ago on Modern Warfare 2, I used to run with the crew, which is the only time I ever dedicated time to a game. But it was because of the fact that I knew we were fun and entertaining. And we were hilarious. But I haven't ran with those guys in years, but that was the only time where something like Discord would ever be warranted. And we never used it. But then again, we never changed any other game. That was the only one we played together. Well, so okay. That's where my hatred for Discord, I'm fully aware, is central to me. Because it serves no other purpose but this, the podcast.
Well, no, I mean, how else are you going to come in and say cheer randomly? You would not be able to if I was using a Blizzard launcher, or using the Blizzard in-game thing.
But that's a byproduct of your stream, not mine.
It's another capability of Discord, allowing for those different channels. I can have someone else running something and just pull them in instead of them randomly.
If I never did this and you said, "Hey, Darren, can you come into my stream, install Discord, and I'll invite you to my server just so you can do cheer," I absolutely would do that. But that's the only time I would ever use it.
Why? I still have to ask this question. Where did Discord hurt you? Show me on the microphone where Discord hurt you.
It never hurt me anywhere.
But like, I'm still trying to figure out why you have such a, especially the word hatred. Like, why you have such a hatred for it. I can understand if you're like, well, it's not.
Hang on, fuck off, weapon.
Well, that's why I was laughing while you were talking. I didn't want to interrupt you, but yeah,
I know.
But
wait. Yeah, go ahead.
I guess I'm just trying to figure out why there's a hatred for it when literally you hate something you just don't know. It's a learning curve, and I understand that learning can be scary. I mean, you're learning to talk, as Weapon pointed out. But
it's not that it's a learning curve. I mean, it is a learning curve, but again, I'm tech savvy, therefore it doesn't, it's one of those things that I can quickly pick up on.
Which is why I thought you would have taken to it with all the stuff that you do, the art, the music, all of those things that you can then put into channels, that you can have a different thing for each thing, even if it's just your own personal thing, to keep things somewhere semi-public if you want to show other people, but not a ton of people.
So, all right, maybe this might put it in perspective. All right, I'm old school. All right.
And you can just, and honestly, you can just ask, Darren. It's fine. If
that's why I threw it privately.
See, you could have done that through Discord because we're already in this application. You didn't have to bring in something else. And it would have been a whole lot less awkward because I wouldn't be reaching over to read my phone.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, Weapon, if you would like to come in and join us, just hop into the waiting room.
Well, I just texted him, asshole. How are you gonna broadcast it?
It's that simple. Or you could have just typed it in because he's in the Discord with us.
Anyway, so I'm a bit old school. like, I know you and I are like, what, only 2 years difference?
One. It's probably several months, actually. September 85.
October 83.
Did you fail a grade?
No, I started on time.
You started late.
I started on time. So my childhood best friend, him and I are like a month apart in age. I'm a month older than he is. He started early. Mm-hmm. So he graduated high school, I think, at 17. His senior year, he was 17.
Yeah, that was me also. I turned 18 a couple months after that.
I turned 18 at the start of senior year.
Yeah, see, that's not normal.
No, that's fairly normal. It when you turn 18 outside, like near the end or outside, or near the beginning or before the beginning, then there's something wrong. Turning 18 on within senior year is kind of a normal thing.
I'm pretty sure most of your grade was 84, and you could probably look that up.
Yeah, well, again, so I was October 83, and the start of the school year is usually what, September?
Well, now I think it's May because they keep moving it back. No, right, I legit September. I think it's like August now.
Okay, August or September, late August, early September. So you have that, and then you have the new year. So that would have been 84. So there are more months in January through June than there are September through December.
Yes.
Therefore, there's a higher majority of people that were born in 84 that graduated the same year as me that were still 18 when they graduated. So, anyway, I'm one of the older folk where years back, if you had a demo tape, you were a dime a dozen. If you were on the radio, you were doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
If you were on MTV, you were gold.
Mm-hmm.
How many mediums was that to gain music? 3.
Okay, right? Okay, yeah, but you're also talking a time before the internet.
I haven't gotten to the internet yet. All right. So
stroke, ladies and gentlemen.
What is that?
He said you're having a stroke.
Fucking about to. So you had 3 mediums in which you could ascertain music: by demo tape if you knew the artist, by radio, whatever it is you heard on the radio that you liked, and then you had MTV.
Okay, what age are we talking here? Because I was giving my computer AIDS by like my sophomore year of high school. All right, so
the birth of MTV I think was 86 to 89 or 80. Was it 83? Oh yeah, it was. Video Killed the Radio Star. I think was 83.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
That was a first video.
Yeah, and it was really appropriate.
It was.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you fast forward. MTV starts being not so music, blah, blah, blah. But then you start having VH1. Cool. Now there's 2 networks. Then it started becoming MTV2, VH1 Rock, VH1 whatever genre, or MTV, whatever genre. Then you introduce the internet. You have Napster, Morpheus, Kazaa,
LimeWire.
You have all these peer-to-peer networks. Again, that's another medium of music multiplied by the number of peer-to-peer applications that were out there. So you have all these channels in which you can try and find something, but you can get so lost in translation where you're just like, fuck it. I'd rather just go to a show, or if I hear something, maybe I'll try and find out what it is.
I'm going to go run and grab my recorder and hold it up to the speaker and make a mixtape.
That's what people used to do, is record the song. Hey, do you know what the fuck this is? No, you just keep dominoing it until you do it. But then you had Shazam. Then you had the application aspect where things could determine audio samples and figure out what they were based on their frequencies, based on their levels, blah, blah, blah. They could reverse engineer it, and all of a sudden you have Shazam. Which, by the way, you can actually use Alexa and Shazam to find my music.
Okay, I looked for you again today on Pandora. You are still not on Pandora.
I looked in TuneCore and I was there.
Okay. I'm going to show... If I have to, I'll show my screen too, but if I type in Darren Lehorn in Pandora, nothing comes up.
Are you doing it all one word or 3
I've
words?
done it with 3 words. I've done it all as 1 word. I've done Here With Me Tonight, Darren Lehorn.
It's not Here With Me Tonight. It's just With Me Tonight.
Ah, all right. Let me try With Me Tonight. Sorry,
anyway.
One of your original songs was Here With Me Now.
Yes.
So, still, whoops. And Green Day starts. How appropriate.
Right. You have all these mediums now of music that's just oversaturating the market. And it's basically too many means of doing the same fucking thing, finding music. So my hatred for Discord lies in the concept of too many things being out there to serve the same fucking purpose, where Call of Duty already has its in-game purpose. I don't bounce from game to game that would warrant the use of something like Discord. Which is why I'm like, why the fuck do I need to install this third-party application? But for the podcast, it makes sense.
Because it does it better.
Don't you think that's a little bit myopic?
Absolutely. But again...
And hatred seems like such a strong word. I get not needing the use, but when you say you hate something, you imply that it's not up to snuff.
So
right?
We haven't hung out in years.
Darren hates everything.
I do hate everything.
Anything that is a slight inconvenience, he hates with every fiber of his being.
And I would suggest that Doc could probably attest to this, with having been militarized. Everything that is petty and above, you just use whatever kind of humor, sarcastic humor, dark humor, etc., etc. But when it comes to, like, when shit gets real, you'll know when hate is exclusively a 4-letter word. So when it comes to something like Discord, I say I hate Discord with a dying passion, blah, blah, blah. It's just a phrase. I don't actually hate Discord. It's just, why the fuck do I need to use this to play a game?
You need a new phrase.
That makes, yes. Language and the choice of words is important, because
No,
that's not my problem. When I say my hatred for Discord is
I would like to point out that that you love something, to love something and to fuck something are the same thing, but with different words. This is how the English language works.
No, because
that's not true either.
In what context?
Love me, fuck me. Pick one.
Yeah, those are two different things.
There can be plenty of fucking going on without any love.
Right.
Yeah, but vice versa.
But yeah, in the same token, you can have a lot of fucking with a lot of love.
Yeah,
so, but what I'm getting at is that you should use the word that is appropriate for the situation, not hate everything. And I've actually been bringing this up since I started playing Call of Duty with him.
The entire purpose of words and the proper choices to convey meaning. Otherwise, we're just making stupid sounds with our mouths if you're not communicating properly.
So Darren loves, and I'm going to use this word, loves, fucking his building. And all he does is sit on top of it in Call of Duty, and that's it. He sits up there. And he squats, and he stands, and he squats, and he stands, and he lays down, and he stands, and he puts things at all of the openings, and then lays down again, and stands up again. Sometimes he shoots people in the face.
Yeah, but see, now you're using innuendo. That's not the same thing.
But what I'm getting at is that if Darren had his choice in Call of Duty, the circle would always be over downtown, and it would be somewhere where the middle of it was kind of around his building, and he would sit there for the next 38 minutes of a 45-minute fight, of a 45-minute game.
And the reason why is I'm not a good rusher. When it comes to Warzone, I am not a rusher. And I don't care how many times Kevin says it, if you go to Superstore, it'll make you better. I'm sorry, that answer is no. I'm not a rusher. When it comes to Warzone, I'm much better off on a perch, picking people off, and then when the numbers start to dwindle...
Like a shitty camper.
Okay,
I'm absolutely camper. I've never made no bones about that.
Mr. Creation, you would have a little bit of insight on this. So Darren's lack of wanting to do anything else reminds me of someone drawing nothing but a stick figure for their entire life. They're really good at drawing a stick figure. But don't you think that failing miserably at drawing some muscular definition a couple hundred times would make them better at drawing
100%.
some muscular definition?
100%.
So if you are over not dealing with anybody for like 35 minutes, or dealing with a bunch of people in 6 different games over those 35 minutes, which of them do you think would make you a better player?
It depends on yes. I understand yes to all of that. It depends on the heart. It's about getting at the heart of what you're trying to accomplish.
Killing people.
If you want to be
the very
a sniper,
best.
if you want to be a very good sniper, and that is kind of the role in your crew that you assume, and everybody's okay with that, and they don't need you to rush, then yeah, by all means, focus on the sniping. But if you want to be better at rushing and you've just decided, well, that's not something I can do,
because he hates it.
I don't believe in the word can't.
Okay.
Because if you put your mind to it and you do a focus practice of the thing, it can be accomplished. If you don't want to do it, that's perfectly acceptable too.
Bingo.
I am not good at those games, not because I don't think I could ever be good at fucking Call of Duty. It's a fucking video game. I used to play them like they were going out of style, but I don't anymore. Therefore, I am not that good at them. If I wanted to be, I'm confident I could get there.
Okay, you nailed it right on the head. So I do not want to be a better rusher because I do not care to rush people. Therefore,
this is why language is important, because we just got to the bottom of what your real intention is because we chose our words properly.
No.
Bada bing. Johnny, what do we have for them?
We're talking two different things.
No, we're not. That was great.
No,
yes,
we're so not.
No. We started. We went in. Hold on. We went into the topic of talking about Call of Duty and Ricky making the innuendo that I love to fuck my building because I'm whatever suggested before. That's not.
Yeah, he was making fun of you for being a camper.
Yeah, absolutely. I will happily camp because I treat that game as a real world fucking circumstance.
Right.
If I have 2 lives in the real fucking life, then I'm gonna maximize the time I have with those 2 fucking lives.
Sure.
Right? Therefore, yeah. I'm going to be a fucking bush. I'm going to be a fucking camper. I'm going to be that asshole every fucking rusher hates. All right?
Right.
Why? Because that is the counter to you.
Sure.
And I'm going to play that very strategically. When the numbers start to dwindle to less than 20, that's when the rushing comes in. I will switch to both using an LMG and an SMG, and I will try and hide as much as possible. But if my hand is forced, I will rush. All right? But I do better when it's in those numbers, because then the odds are in my favor. When it's 150 fucking people, the odds are not in my favor. So I need to camp this out as much as possible.
Right.
But when it comes to hatred, hatred of Discord is different than the desire to be a better rusher. I don't have the desire to be a better rusher there, but I don't hate rushing.
You also have no desire to be better at Discord, and you hate Discord. It's the same thing.
I have no desire to use Discord any further than what I use it for.
I believe Darren is missing the overarching point. Is that it's not about the topic of discussion. It's about explaining your intention through the proper choice of language. Rather than saying I hate something, you explain, well, I don't feel like I need it. Also, rather than saying I am not good at rushing or I hate rushing, you're saying you have no desire to be good at it. Therefore, you do not want to rush. You want to be a sniper. That makes sense.
You brought him in here for a 2-on-1. But
also, it sounds like it would behoove. It would not behoove. That's not the right word. See, language is important. It would benefit you immensely to take it on the chin a little bit and learn how to be a better rusher. Therefore, in those rare circumstances when you have to rush, you are competent at it at least.
But again, I already said it. When it comes to the numbers being in my favor, I am a better rusher because there's less people.
Fair enough.
If I wanted to be a better rusher at 150 people in a fucking game, then I would absolutely.
I get it. That's a different animal. Yeah.
That's a different animal altogether. But I don't have a desire to improve on that. My game is already good when the odds are in my favor at less than 20 people or that.
Okay, so you're saying your rushing abilities are fine when the numbers are already low, which makes sense.
Correct. Okay. Absolutely. Because I do things that are in my benefit. And I have no problem being
You're playing to your strengths.
Exactly. Playing into my strengths, which is what someone should absolutely do in that game. But
okay, so fine. We will leave the rushing thing. Darren, why do you hate airport? Why do you hate storage town? Why do you? I'm using the term hate. Why do you hate train station?
Hold on, motherfucker.
Why do you hate going to park? Why do you hate going to ports? Why do you hate going to prison? Why do you hate going to hospital when it's the highest building around?
Prison. I mean, that seems like a bad thing, right?
Motherfucker, you named off like so many different places that I think maybe out of all of them, only one or two of them I actually hate. I've never hated the airport. You know this.
No, you've changed your mind on it, and I've gotten you to change your mind on this. You used to say, I hate the airport.
I have said from the beginning, there are places that I hate, there are places that I like, but then there's a lot of places where I'm neither here nor there. I don't hate them, I don't like them.
Hospital.
Right? Hospital, I'm not going to pass judgment on because I haven't had too much interaction with hospital.
Prison.
To know. Prison, I don't love it, don't hate it.
Quarry.
LaCroix.
Quarry. I don't like it more than I like it less than I love it.
So why weren't we dropping on these places more often when you'd say, fuck that place, I hate that place? You've given off this thing of hating everything, which is why you always go to the one building, and now you're like, I don't hate that. Well, we ping here. No, fuck that place. I don't want to go to stadium.
A grumpy man.
He is the grumpy old man of this channel.
Again,
you old curmudgeon. In
But,
my day,
Quarry,
all of 1996.
Again, we're talking about things that are in my benefit. All right.
Uh-huh.
Now, as far as the team is concerned, there's things that I would think are more beneficial. But then again, you have two different animals on the same team. You have someone that's a rusher, which is Doc. And then you have someone that's me, who's a camper, a sniper. All right.
Which is funny because I actually run SMG and sniper because I need to go in and save people when it's not working.
But here's where you deviate away from reality is what's called the quick scope. Are you good at the quick scope?
I'm decent at it, actually.
There you go. You can rush people with a quick scope.
Oh no, I only use the SMG when I rush. I don't rush with a sniper rifle. That seems very counterproductive.
Yes, I agree with you, but there's some people that are good at that.
That is okay. So the quickscope actually does not work on PC.
Okay.
Reason being is that there's actually an amount of auto aim that is given to console players.
Yeah.
So if you actually scope in, like let's say that the target is here, if you scope in slightly off to the side, it will, when you scope in, it will put you center mass. That is this quick scope. You don't even see where it goes. You use the scope to pinpoint it, going from an area this to a pinpoint, and then you fire around. That is the thing behind the quick scope. So technically, you could do flick shots, which we both do, which is just moving the mouse quickly to the side, taking our shot, whatever. But anyway, Darren, I just want to understand why you hate so much. Why is there so much hate in your heart?
So again, you are a better rusher than I am, right?
Away from Call of Duty. We can get away from Call of Duty. You've uninstalled that from your life. This is no longer your issue.
Oh, yeah. So bringing weapon into the mix, I completely uninstalled Blizzard and Call of Duty from my computer.
He rage quit a company just now.
By the way, Call of Duty is not made by Blizzard.
I know, but again, the only game, and this is where I will 100% concede to. There's not many things I'm pretty petty about, but when it comes to
I get it, the product wasn't working for you, so
right. And the only Blizzard game I've ever played is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. And
not a Blizzard game.
Okay. The only way I can play it on computers through fucking Blizzard. So
the servers are ran through Battle.net, but those games are published by Activision and made by 3 different companies.
Yeah, it's not a Blizzard game. That's
whatever. The only way I can launch it is through Blizzard. So
fair enough. I see what you're saying. Thanks for the clarity through language.
I said it many times. Therefore, if that's the first game I have ever played through Blizzard, it is going to be the last.
No, that just sounds like you've been playing really shitty Call of Duties for years and finally found something other than Call of Duty to blame for the problems that Call of Duty has always had with hackers, cheaters, aimbots, lag switches. You're gonna run into
that in any game.
No,
you're gonna run into that in any game.
Yes and no. If you have a subscription-based game or a game that costs money, people normally, I'm gonna use the term normally don't do it because they know they're going to get banned and it's going to be 60, 80, 120, whatever amount of money out the window.
Hell, the money isn't the issue. It's the time you've spent on the character that just goes out the window.
And so
at some point, the time is more valuable, right?
And if you look at a lot of those hacking accounts in Call of Duty, you're going to notice that they have super, super low levels on it because they're taking basic weapons. It's a free-to-play game. And you're just kind of throwing yourself into there. And that's the end of it. So again, when you're able to see that it's hacking...
You're never going to get around hackers. You can remediate it as best as possible. And there are some games that probably do an excellent job at that. Never disputing it. But you're never going to get around the hackers 100%. You're never going to get around the lag spikes 100%. You're never going to get around server connectivity issues 100% because you could have something like Call of Duty that you and I have experienced the issues left and right on, but then you could run into something say even Diablo 3, that I've noticed from you hardly ever have had a server crash from that, at least that I noticed.
Yeah.
Again, and this is kind of true to what Andrew was saying, it's based on the publishing of the game, not so much Blizzard, in the way they build it.
Yeah, well, that is tied to the development of the title, but also the netcode, and also the reality is like there's a new Call of Duty every year, so it has a lot less of a refinement period than a game that's been out since 2012, and we lost them again.
And back.
Oh, welcome back. I'm heating up a burrito.
Does that make sense? So they've really had a lot of time to iron out the netcode and the servers with Diablo. It's been out since 2012, but every time a new freaking Call of Duty comes out, it's out every year, so there's a lot less time to optimize, and then probably by the time they get it all figured out, they're already on to the next one.
So don't get me wrong, the launch of Blizzard games on Battle.net, whatever it is, but the launch of most of those games, it has a super, super rocky launch. Like, if you talk to anyone that played...
Diablo's famous for its crazy launch.
Not launch day?
Diablo 3. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I remember the error code was famous at the time, too.
Yeah. And the thing is that... But they fixed it relatively quickly. Yeah, and they did. Unless there is, like, a big patch. And here's the big thing where I will give Blizzard credit, being the little indie company that it is, and its small budget and everything else... I will give them credit that when there is a problem, like a large problem that affects a player base, even if it's like 2% of a player base, they normally are pretty quick on it to fix that, because 2% of 1 million people is still a shit ton of people.
It's a lot of people, yeah.
That's still 10,000. That's still 20,000 people. Especially,
I mean, in this day and age, I think your reputation is probably more discussed openly than it ever has been,
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, look at what happened with Cyberpunk, man. I mean, if you want to talk about a tragedy of a story when it comes to the gaming development, what a great game underneath all the nonsense.
Well, okay. I mean, if we're going into that kind of stuff, I mean,
for what I could tell, Cyberpunk was overhyped.
Well, all overhyped games don't deliver because the overhype. I mean, Fallout 76 was good, but it was crap for the overhype, and of course they had a bunch of marketing issues that they had also, whatever.
Well, here's where I think the difference is from most. I actually think Cyberpunk, the base of the game, the story, the writing, the acting, the missions, the world, I actually think all of that, the hype is pretty close to warranted.
Yeah.
But it's the dismal situation in which the game was launched. They made a game, and it frankly that said it would run on a base PS4 and a base Xbox One. And frankly, it's just fucking broken, and it's probably going to remain that way on those base consoles. They should have never launched it for PS4 and Xbox One. It should have been a next-gen game, a PS5, Xbox Series, and a PC game. That should have been how it rolled out. And because the game runs as it was promised to run on PS5, pretty much from day one. They've made improvements since that make it run even better, but it came in PS5 at 60 frames per second.
I never cared to play Cyberpunk.
Fair enough. That's not. Yeah.
So
you don't have a
he
dog in that race, but
no. I got you, motherfucker. See, I am very aware of my choice of words, and if there's something that I actually hate, I will say that I hate it. Why? Because I have experienced it. I have some whatever reason. If someone wants to consider it a petty reason, that's on them. I don't care. If I actually have a reason to say I hate something, it's used loosely. But
so why do you hate Discord?
Hold on. But if I say I don't care to play it, it doesn't mean that I hate it. It's just there's no interest.
It's not your bag. That's fine.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
I almost screwed it.
It's fine. Everyone in here's already done it. They know my name. You fucked this from like day one coming in here.
That's on me.
Guys, my name is Ricky. Hi. That's Darren. The guy below us is Creation. Your secret identity is safe with me.
Well, the funny thing is, it's not very secret. It's all over the internet too.
Yeah, I was gonna say yours is out there one or two steps below more than mine is. Mine is just my name because I'm like, if I'm gonna have an internet presence, why come up with a fucking nickname when that just gives people an excuse to dig it up?
Yeah.
So, like a background check. I don't want to leave anybody an excuse to try and fucking dig for something.
Okay, so now we get to go back to the conversation of why do you hate Discord?
Oh my god.
I'm still trying to figure this out. I still want to know where it touched you when you were a small child, because this is deep-seated. You know, this is years of abuse, apparently.
It's not really hate?
No. We have not.
It's the same thing as like if I were to play Call of Duty, but you were saying, hey, jump on Facebook Messenger so we can communicate. Same thing. Why the fuck am I going to do that when the game already provides an in-conversation platform? Shitty as it may be. Because
Facebook doesn't give you the ability to do all of the other things that Discord does.
That's fantastic. Okay. What? Oh, hold on. What?
I have an even better argument to that, because game servers do fail.
Thank you.
And you have a third-party channel to communicate through when the game servers fail, and everybody knows what's up. If that thing crashes, then the in-game chat isn't going to work.
That's fine. I've experienced that before with older games. All right, and everything was just fine. All right.
Yeah, I mean the world didn't end, but it avoided a little confusion, of course.
That's people could immediately assume, oh, he DC'd or crashed. It's one of the fucking two. All right. So when it comes to Discord, what other features of Discord am I going to use?
You can use the chat room in order to send really funny pics and screenshots very quickly.
Haven't done it since I got it.
No. You said what could you do, not what are you going to use. I can list off.
I do.
What can you do, or what are you going to do? I can list off all of the features you can do. I can list off all of the amazing things about it, but if you're not willing to actually use, a color TV to view color and you want to leave it in black and white, that's on you for not using the features available to you.
Okay, this is where Creation wins that argument because my choice of words was bad. What am I going to use on Discord? I'm not going to use any of its features to do fucking diddly squat with.
Yeah, and this is also where you win because you've already stated that you don't use it for all but one thing, for anything but one application.
The recording quality of your voice chats and everything else while you're streaming is much higher quality on Discord than it is with in-game chats. And for the amount of time that you spend on your peripherals inside of your streaming stuff, I would expect...
That's true, dude. You got a really nice mic in front of you, and you're only as good as your weakest link right now. And if you're getting shit quality from the software side, that's a waste of a mic.
That's great. I don't use Discord for any other purpose other than this, or if we're in game playing Call of Duty and it's you and whoever else that's using Discord. If I'm playing with Joe or anyone that's on console that can't support Discord, can't use Discord. The point of Discord is already defunct.
You should really look at and just listen to the sound quality of the people that are streaming using in-game chat and then the sound quality of someone that's using Discord. You can tell, like, the difference is huge. It's noticeable just right off the bat.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense from a server standpoint too.
I've never argued the multi-person thing in Discord as far as the quality is concerned. I have not argued that. If I'm streaming Call of Duty solos, Discord is irrelevant because my Yeti is going straight from the computer and Streamlabs is picking up on that COM port. So the quality of that mic is going to supersede anything Call of Duty provides.
So how am I, or Creation, or Alex, or anybody supposed to come in and comment on your funny happenings while you're using your in-game thing playing solos? Or is that just not...
Are you mean commenting in chat?
No, commenting voice-wise, kind of like you do with Diablo. Is there any way for me to come in and comment and add in, you know, little jabs here and there of the, you know, insulting Darren variety while you're playing a solo game?
When I'm doing solos, the only thing I want to hear, and okay, let's wind the clock back pre-Call of Duty, pre-Modern Warfare. I personally, if I were to stream way back when I was running with a crew in Modern Warfare 2, I would not want to hear anybody other's voice other than the group that I was with. But if I was on my own, I wouldn't want to hear anybody's voice because I'm intently listening to other things that are happening in the game. If I hear someone else's voice, I think it's another person, and I need to be cognitive of where I'm hearing that position. But so conversely, in Modern Warfare 2019, if I hear somebody else's voice, same thing. It means someone's around the fucking corner.
So that means that when we are watching you, because we are dead, that we should not be talking because it's a distraction and shouldn't be calling out the sniper in the window to the top right that you didn't see?
More often than not, the fucking like bullshit conversations that happen in game, most of them are not a problem, but the points in which they are a problem, it's just like Heather and Ray were talking about fucking red rockets the other day, and I'm like, dude, there's someone on me. There's someone on me.
It's really okay. Ray is really funny when it comes to that because he's the first one to start yelling for comms, but he's the first one to start screaming when he's dead.
Several people I know are like that.
And I mean, most of the time, like you said, when it's not an issue, it's fine. But the thing is, when it is an issue, it's a bad issue. And you're always really fucking frustrated.
Exactly. It's always at the worst opportune moment. So therefore, I would not run fucking Discord because I don't want anyone else chatting in on my shit. If it's in stream, like, you know, the little chat log thing, that's fine. I can respond to it after.
Yeah.
But in game and solos, I don't want to hear anybody else's voice other than the people that are in game, like the avatar saying shit. Or when I kill someone, in the 5 seconds their mic turns on, if they give me something good to clip.
See, Creation, the amount of like fervor and the amount of emotion that he's putting into this shows that it is hatred. And it is not a word that he is using outside of the word hatred.
No, you're trying to justify your favoritism of Discord over my hatred of it I'm wrong. As if I'm wrong.
But you just used the word your hatred for Discord.
Again, my hatred for Discord is unique to me.
We understand your definition of it, but my question is, why would you use anything else?
Why would I use anything else?
If the standard is that's what everybody's using, you're essentially, your contention is I don't like it, so everybody should use what I'm using.
But that's assuming I'm going to use something else.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But you are using something else. The number of times that I have to go into game chat because your roommate.
Bingo. Because of the roommate. The only time I go into Discord is if I'm playing with you. Or someone else that's in Discord with you. Like, hey, like Kevin, like, hey, we're in Discord.
The thing is that most people that play with you, they just assume and they know that you're going to not want to use it. But on the average player wants to use it. You can
here's the other problem. So here's the other problem that as far as consoles go. Consoles like PS4 don't support Discord. So that means I have to use 2 different sets of headphones, which I am not going to do.
You could plug in your PC headset into your PS4, it'll work.
Okay. So my PC headset plugs into my PS4. How am I going to hear Discord?
Oh, you can't.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So until the application is built on the PS4 network or the PS5 network or the Xbox network, it's not going to happen. Joe, I know for a fact, is not going to use 2 sets of headphones. Heather has already had to do it on a couple times.
I got the AirPod for when I need a Discord at the same time as playing the PlayStation. AirPod. Yeah, because it sits in the ear inside the cup. So I have one in.
For PC players, it makes perfect sense because it's all within the same platform. But if I'm not going to play PC anymore, now there's an issue.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, the reason they don't have Discord is because built in the OS of the PlayStation is a chat program.
Correct. It's same thing with the Xbox.
Yeah, so basically, even if your game server crashes, as long as your internet doesn't go out, which Discord wouldn't work anyway either,
right.
Then you're fine.
And to one up Discord altogether, is Xbox actually does have a party chat that is cross-platform between the Xbox and the PC. So when I was playing with Michael and Dom,
that's pretty cool.
All I had to do was launch the Xbox party chat on the computer, and then I can hear them in game while they were playing on console.
It's horrible though. They're the PC. I mean, not the PC. The console guys are cutting out like every third word, and
I never had a problem with that. The only problem I had with the Xbox party chat is actually getting into the room. It was kind of hard. It was a lot harder to navigate than Discord. I'll give Discord that credit.
The PlayStation one's really easy. I've never had any issues with it.
Yeah, I never had.
And it's even better now on PS5, to be honest.
But there's no PC component to join in the PC voice chatters.
I got you.
So, again, these are all things that are at least supporting my point of my hatred for Discord.
Why are you using air quotes for your own word?
Because it's kind of mocking you.
You're the one using the word hatred. I can say, okay, I dislike things like I dislike the lack of ability to turn people down when they have screaming children in the background.
Hang on, I'm catching up on chat. Alex Balbanes, hospitals have needles. Sad face. Yes, I have a fear of needles, but that's not the reason. I don't go to hospital because I've never explored it enough, at least in a safe way.
I'll hold your hand next time.
Yeah, thanks, man. Prison life. I've never been explicitly opposed to the prison. The only thing I don't like about prison is how easy it is to get gas trapped. If you're not paying attention.
Rape.
Wait, what?
Also rape.
Well, that's a different kind of prison.
My bad.
I think that's in reference to Call of Duty.
It is. Although we have been dropped in upon and, shot in the face from above as we were looking up.
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of that stuff.
The Harrison Ford of Call of Duty.
I will say that I did, Call of Duty did actually just finish an update, so your problem might have been fixed.
I doubt it.
But yeah.
I'm
try it, man.
I'm not even entertaining the chance.
He uninstalled. He's done. Never to go back to Call of Duty on PC. Never to be part of Master Race again.
It's like trying to take me to a restaurant because it's somewhere I've never been before. I might like it, and someone sells me on it. Okay, I'll try it, and I wind up hating it, have a horrible experience. Am I ever going to go back to that restaurant? The answer is no.
If a person literally says, yeah, sorry about that, it was a really bad night tonight, you should try this again with me another night.
You know about Cronies, right?
Yeah.
The chain of restaurants. All right. I hate Cronies, not because of their food necessarily, but most of our friends like going there, and that's where they kind of congregate now.
Oh, I remember that place, that bar in Simi.
Yeah.
Well, there's a chain of them. I think there's like 4 of them.
Is it a chain?
I only ever knew of the one in Simi.
Newberry Park, Agora Hills, Camarillo, and Simi.
That's when you look into the microphone and tell cronies that they can sponsor you if they want to. So what is their happy hour special, Darren?
Oh, word.
So my buddy Steve could answer that question on the fly because he's there all the time. But again, I don't get the hype of it because most of the people just camp the table for hours on end. I can't do that. So that's the reason I hate cronies, not necessarily because of their food. I don't think their food's that great, but it's tolerable.
The atmosphere sucks is what you're saying.
But so most of the people
it's not the atmosphere sucks because that would be putting a blanket statement over everything. It's not an atmosphere for me.
So most of the people
I don't like getting stuck there.
that you know go there and like it so that you still go there.
The only reason I go there is because my friends are there.
So most of your friends like to rush and you want to sit on top of the building.
Yeah, I'm a lone wolf.
Why don't you do the same thing in game that you do in life and go with your friends and have fun with all of us?
Oh, so if everyone's jumping off the bridge, I should do it too.
Yeah, especially if the first person doesn't splatter. Why not?
That's what I heard. That's the lesson I always learned.
If you're going to go cliff diving, the first person jumps in, comes out just fine. Fuck yeah, I'm going to jump. If the first person hits a rock, probably not.
I'm a tad more cautious than that.
Yeah. And it's not that I have a fear of heights. It's just I'm like, yeah, I don't think so.
I don't have a fear of heights. I have a fear of sudden stops after a long fall.
Because it's like you say that the first person jumps is just fine. We have not added in the variable of my luck. So
there's also I may not jump as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, your luck does kind of suck, doesn't it?
It does. My luck is horrible. So,
but
again, that's where strategy comes in mind.
All right, fine. Are you actually going to play Call of Duty anymore?
I have it for the PS4. So yes, I will still play it as far as streaming it is concerned.
You should bum your dad's PlayStation and give it a whirl on that.
He's gonna buy it.
Really good on PS5.
He's gonna buy it for him. Again, I'm still going to play it. It's just streaming it is a different story. So
if you could find a PS5, you should get one of those.
So he is so pissed at them that he's going to buy a third copy because he is so pissed at Activision for his game on PC.
No.
It's just really counterintuitive.
Right? No. I'm so pissed. I'm getting rid of this fucking game. Never play it again, but I have 2 other copies.
I actually do have 2 other copies. So you mean a 4th copy. So I've always had the copy on the PlayStation. It's just Bryce was the one that was playing it and either didn't play it enough or was terrible at it. Or both.
Yes.
So since he moved out, I've been upgrading everything, and I finally got everything. Most things to where I want them to be as far as loadouts are concerned. Again, I need to figure out if it's the HDMI, start with that. Figure out if it's Elgato, start with that. Or if it's my TV, or if it's a combination of 3 things. I don't know at this point. I just know what order I need to start in. And at least it's like order of cheapest issue.
Yeah, I mean, a cable can be $6 on Amazon.
Creation, I just want to let you know that you do have some kind of a reflection in the TV in the background of whatever you were working on in front of you.
Oof. Can you make that out?
No, but I'm giving you a heads up that I am able to see something, and if you're working on stuff that you don't want people to see, just throwing that out there for you.
Copy that.
Just trying to help.
Point. Appreciate it. I don't think you can make it out, but
I have no idea what it is. I'm just letting you know that I can see the window. Like I couldn't even see anything at all until you started like moving windows around, so it started flashing in the background. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should disconnect just in case.
You probably just move your camera over towards the window a little bit also.
That's a good idea. Let's do this.
Yeah. I have no
idea. Don't point at the screen. That would be unwise.
Yeah. But there you go. Now we can't see what's going on behind you. The only thing we can see is kind of the corner of your monitor. I have no idea what that is, though.
How's that?
I mean, I can...
This is my iPad over here.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can see is the iPad.
Yeah, that's the stream. I just got Twitter on, or Twitch on, rather.
All right. But yeah, like I said, I know that you're working on, sensitive materials, and you probably don't want people seeing that stuff, so...
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm pretty sure there's no way you could make out any of it, but it's good to know.
Couldn't see what it was. Like I said, flashy lights.
Yeah, good to know. Appreciate it.
But yeah,
I don't want to be even a hint, so...
I've been trying to get Darren to stop using the word hate and to expand his horizons. Thank you so much for joining.
Where did he go? Is he gone?
He's mad. No, he's not. He probably had to go to the bathroom or talk to his roommate or something. I guess his roommates told him that he's having a party today, sometime between 5 and 6 is when it starts, and he found out this morning.
Tight. Those are my favorite kind of surprises.
I'm just...
Woof.
Okay, so Alex
Not
says,
a party guy.
At Weapon of Mass Creation, thoughts on Zach's Justices League cut?
So please, no spoilers. I am 2 hours through it right now. It's 4 hours long. It is leaps and bounds better than the first release, I think. I do feel it is a little bit self-indulgent, and it does drag a little bit, but it is not that much of a sin. I think it's much better film. I really like the vision behind this one. I mean, is it a phenomenal film? No. Is it a good film? I actually think it is. I think it's pretty good.
So it's something.
I think it's much better than the with every release from the DC EU. I think have been way subpar. But with the exception of Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, the next one is that one makes my head hurt.
I haven't seen them. Were they worth? I haven't seen anything in like the DC universe other than the Batmans. I think I saw Superman.
Hold on, which Batman?
Ooh.
Christian Bale Batman?
Yes.
That's not DCEU. That's Christopher Nolan Batman. That's different. Those are phenomenal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I have no idea which it is. I just know Batman DC, Batman is DC, and I've watched some Batmans. I've seen the Christian Bale. I have not seen the Ben Affleck one.
So here's the deal: anything after Nolan is considered a DCEU, starting with Man of Steel. That was when Warner Brothers decided they did want to do the Marvel thing, and they reacted and decided, oh, we're going to try to build a universe like Marvel did. But the problem is they didn't plan it quite as well as Marvel did, so they have issues.
I think I liked Man of Steel.
Man of Steel's not bad.
I think I liked it.
It's not great, but it's not bad. Do I think it's really a good personification of Superman? We can debate that, but I will say this: Batman v Superman is possibly one of the worst films I've ever seen, and the Justice League is right behind it. And it pains me to say that because those are my favorite comic book heroes.
Is it worse than Haywire?
Oh yeah, Haywire is not bad.
Haywire was horrible.
Haywire at least resembles a movie.
Haywire was like 45 minutes of an hour and a half film of her just running.
Man of Steel was, I think Creation's on point. Man of Steel for me as a non-comic book guy, I thought Man of Steel was fantastic up until like the last 45 minutes.
It has a third act problem, but then again, so does the first Wonder Woman. There's something about the third act that DC hasn't figured out with their movies.
Wonder Woman, if you can get past, and I'm going to throw it out there, but it had a lot of feminist overtones, and the fact how hot Gal Gadot is.
Yeah, but dude, so do male superhero movies. They have a lot of masculine overtones.
True.
So if we're playing the even card here, you got to give them that. That's fine.
And that's the same time that
the director of the movie, what's her face? I fucking forgot her name. Shit. Yeah. She's a great director. She said, I think Wonder Woman should kick ass and look good doing it. What do we expect from our male superheroes? Kick ass and look good doing it. If we're being fair, I have no problem with that. The problem I have is just pacing,
right,
and earning the consequences in the film.
Justice League, 100% agree. It was a horrid fucking film. Batman versus Superman, as far as I was concerned, wasn't. It could have been a lot better. Yes. Did Jesse Eisenberg do a good job as Lex Luthor? Debatable. Did
I mean that one hurts for sure. But
did Ben Affleck do a good job as Batman?
I think he's fine. I
can't say pleasantly surprised. I think even you were saying it a while back that the same issues people had with Heath Ledger playing the Joker were the same issues people had Ben Affleck playing Batman.
I don't think I quite well. Okay, yes, they did say they did. There were a lot of doubts. Yes. I will concede that it wasn't nearly as successful a casting choice as Heath Ledger was for Joker. But I don't think Ben Affleck... Here's the thing, is I don't think any of the people playing those characters maybe I could argue Eisenberg playing Lex Luthor, but I get what they were going for. They didn't want the normal authoritarian sort of Lex Luthor. They wanted something a little zanier. But what I think the problem is in the choice in making that with Eisenberg is they were trying to copy Heath Ledger as a Joker. They were trying to capture that again, and that is the problem with the choice.
Now, if you want to take a strong, especially a method actor, if you want to take someone like that and let them be them, Jesse Eisenberg is still not the choice.
I tend to agree. He's not. I don't think he's. But okay, the choice is made. Fine, I get it. You were trying something different with the character.
Correct.
Again, though, the biggest problem with that movie isn't so much the casting; it's the writing.
Right.
It's the directing. The pacing in that movie it doesn't even make sense. And the fact that they introduced giant alien baby 70% through the film, if it even was that soon, and all of a sudden he's the big bad guy, like they just didn't build up Doomsday in any sort of proper way. They didn't earn anything from the character that kills Superman in the comic books.
By the way, I've got to bring this up before I forget. Skippy and his wife are actually watching on Facebook right now, and Skippy brings up, well, look at Daredevil. I know nothing about Daredevil. Okay.
What about Daredevil?
Yeah, Skip, what about Daredevil did you want to put into that whole thing?
Daredevil campy as shit.
First of all, which Daredevil?
Yeah, are we talking like the TV series, or are we talking the movie?
I'm gonna throw a dart at a pretty easy.
Are you talking Ben Affleck Daredevil? Because
talking Ben Affleck.
He's probably because we're talking Ben Affleck anyway.
I haven't seen the TV show. I agree. The TV show, the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck, campy as fuck.
Okay.
I thought the storyline with Elektra was really good. I really liked the Elektra part of it.
So what he said is Ben Affleck's role in Daredevil is what made everyone worry about Batman. What made me worry about Batman was that
But dude, Ben Affleck is so much better of a filmmaker and so much better of an actor now. I really hope that no one judges me by my drawings from 20 years prior in the present state.
Alex Balbane's OG Daredevil is gold compared to Elektra. No. I'm talking about like the Elektra storyline within the Daredevil movie, not the Elektra film. The Elektra film I didn't even watch. I heard it was fucking horrible.
That being said, I do think Ben Affleck personally I think he's much better behind the camera than in front of it.
It depends on the film. What was the film he was in with Matt Damon? Not
Good Will Hunting.
Not Good Will Hunting. Was it Pearl Harbor?
You mean everything that those two were in?
Matt Damon was not in Pearl Harbor, dude.
Josh Hartnett. No, he was. Josh Hartnett was. That's right.
Dogma.
Dogma, but that's a Kevin Smith film. They're just guys hanging out doing goofy shit.
But
Pearl Harbor wasn't bad.
It was just too damn long for what it was.
It was.
Well, that's a Michael Bay circle jerk fest. That's exactly what it is.
I really wish that that movie would have been broken up into like 2 films.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they were doing, because they weren't doing sagas, like sagas was not the thing at that time. But I do think that if they had done sagas, that it would have they could have put so much more into it.
I don't think it's an issue of not being able to put enough into it. It's Michael Bay, dude. He had carte blanche in that era.
So
that guy
and Steve, sorry about the Facebook thing, or the YouTube thing. It's really hard. I can't actually reply to YouTube other than speaking. So on Facebook, I can reply to you. On the laptop, I can reply to you in Twitch. But for some reason, it does not give me an option to reply in YouTube other than to speak.
Try YouTube Studio. It's an option if you click on your icon on the top right.
I will actually be right back, guys. I'm going to use the restroom real quick.
I don't think that the argument is that any of those actors were especially bad at this point. I don't think that the problem with those movies is that, what really sank those movies was Ben Affleck as Batman or Henry Cavill as Superman or Gal Gadot as Diana or Wonder Woman or any of that. Because I think it's just the fucking writing. The writing is really bad.
Gal Gadot was a great Wonder Woman. There was no dispute to that. Henry Cavill was a great Superman. I
think at minimum everybody's just at least pretty good. Like it's fine. It works.
The only one I was really worried about was Will Smith as Deadshot. but I was pleasantly surprised because he did a pretty good job as Deadshot.
But again, that movie is the problem. People think like the actor sinks the film. It's not.
No,
it's not. Especially now. Like again, I'll say what I said last podcast. Like Tom Cruise is a dying breed. People don't go to see movie stars anymore. They go to see IPs.
But the thing that proves your point is the Fantastic Four reboot. The Fantastic Four, I didn't really think too much about the actors, but at the same time, Marvel did a pretty good job of casting people that weren't, entirely that established. And then
nobody knew who Chris Hemsworth was before Thor.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden you have the Fantastic Four. I was a little concerned when Michael Jordan got recasted as Killmonger. I was a little worried that there might be a little confusion there, but
well, same with the even bigger one is Chris Evans as the Human Torch in Fox's. That's a specific, clear marker of denotation, like Fox's Fantastic Four. He went on to become Captain America, and that's the best goddamn thing that they could have done. I definitely had my doubts because for the same reason you just said, people would be confused.
Yeah. And with the Fantastic Four reboot, I think if it weren't for the fact that the director had already put it out there shortly before the film's opening of how, hey, too bad it's not the movie I made for you, something along those lines.
Oh, you're talking about the very new one that was apparently just a train wreck.
Correct. Yeah. That film proves your point that it's not the actors that sink a film. It's everything else adding up to it. And as far as sagas are concerned, I remember years ago talking to you about how people could do a Legend of Zelda film. I hope to God they never make it. If Nintendo, if you're listening, fight to your absolute dying breath of never having a Zelda film made.
Well, if they don't want, they don't have to fight, dude. If they don't want it made, they won't get made.
I know. But whatever. You can't do a Zelda film in 3 films, or a Zelda story in 3 films. It's impossible to do. Marvel, up until Marvel's The Avengers or the MCU, sagas were a hard thing to fathom. At least even half the length that the MCU is. So,
well, what Kevin Feige and crew have done is absolutely unprecedented in the industry.
Yes, it is 100% unprecedented. But now
but now everybody wants a piece of it. So,
which is another reason I will shit on the fucking Mortal Kombat film, because again, it's a huge fucking story. You can't really do it in one film. You can't talk about the relationship between Hanzo Hasashi and Bi-Han in 15 fucking minutes of film. No, you need an entire film for that, because Shang Tsung and Quan Chi are responsible for manipulating both of them. And you can compartmentalize 3 films: Sub-Zero versus Scorpion, Sonya versus Kano, Raiden versus Liu Kang, and then bring it together in Mortal Kombat 1. And you can introduce characters as they go along, or have 1 or 2 bridge the 3 films together. You could do all that. Instead, they're just going with a straight fucking reboot, and it looks great. It's just they're gonna butcher it. I already know.
I mean, have a little faith, man. I don't think there's any utility in being that pessimistic about it, because sometimes, and I will say this, I am fucking shocked that I was wrong. I openly admit. I swore up and down there was no kind of editing, no kind of reworking of the Justice League that would turn that into a decent film. And it turns out I was dead fucking wrong. Have a little faith. That's all I'm saying. Because I swore up and down there's no way they can make that into anything worth watching. Because
to tie into what we were talking about before in the previous podcast, I think it was. I
lost you.
Hang on.
Okay. Back. Are you sure it's Activision's fault?
I
just saying.
As far as a game is concerned, never had problems until Call of Duty 2019.
Discord, coincidence do happen, man.
Maybe
you're dropping a lot here.
Maybe Discord. Maybe Discord just knows that I hate it and is now fucking with me. But
yeah, well.
So anyway, you
gotta love it to work. I'll love it when it works.
I have no problem changing a story here and there to make them relevant. Like Iron Man 1, they tied Afghanistan to the 10 rings and, all that. I thought that was fantastic. I have no problem with that. On that same point, I think it was Mortal Kombat Legacy. That was the Mockmania series.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they took Liu Kang and manipulated him a little bit to where he was the antithesis of, in that story, of what he is in the game. I loved that concept. I thought it was a great dynamic because what people love to see more than a hero succeed is to see a hero fail.
Sure.
And see how they rise back up. So when it comes to the reboot film that's coming out, I understand the point of introducing a new character so that way people have someone to relate to that know nothing of the Mortal Kombat story. Neither does this Cole Young fucking dude.
Yeah, he's the everyman that they're injecting. He's the audience member.
I understand that. All right. The dragon tattoo or the dragon birthmark never existed. Why fucking introduce it? Why create it? Natara has nothing to do with this story at this point in time. Why bring her in? Cabal has nothing to do with the story. Why bring him in? Melina, you can't have Melina without Katana. So
I will counter with, because you can't make an X-Men movie without Wolverine. That's what I will counter with.
That's not a counter. That's supporting my point. You can't have Melina without Katana.
It is not supporting your point. Because what most people don't know is that X-Men or Wolverine was not part of the original X-Men. But when they made the first X-Men movie, Wolverine sure as shit was in it. And not only that, he was a fucking star.
Okay, so to that point, if the actress that's playing, I think it's CC Stringer or something like that, no disrespect to CC Stringer as an actress, but if they casted her as Katana, that would have at least made more sense from a character standpoint because they're bringing in Katana. Melina was, I don't know if she was already created or being created at that point in time by Shang Tsung, but Melina did not exist before Katana. So why is Melina getting a role and not Katana? Where the fuck is Katana in all this? Because Katana was on the side of Outworld.
At least maybe she's more popular of a character.
Whatever. It's just one of those things where there's a lot more traditionalist sense that I think are going to trump it as opposed to some of the changes that they want to make. We were talking, I chimed in a little bit about sagas.
Okay.
And how years ago I was talking with Creation about creating a Legend of Zelda film, like how it could be done or whatever. I hope to God that they never make it, but you can't do that you can't do that story in just 3 films. It has to be multi-film saga. But at that point in time, when we were talking about it, which is what, 2009, 2008?
Well, about to say, Darren, we talked about this thing like last week and the week before. This is your like weekly Zelda thing. We've left Mortal Kombat out for once, but
no. I was talking specifically to Creation. We were having those conversations like what, 2008, 2009. So that was around the time I think Iron Man 1 came out. The MCU got sagas right. They got those ingredients correct. And now that sets the standards of what sagas should be. I then brought up Mortal Kombat, and I'm like, you can't do that whole story in one film. You can easily compartmentalize it.
You never missed that opportunity. Zelda, Mortal Kombat, or pro wrestling.
You could literally anything that has
I will pull right from the MCU in this argument.
Uh-oh.
They didn't do the Captain America movie first, even though it literally is in the title, The First Avenger.
Yeah, I know.
They went with the more popular character, Iron Man.
Right.
And actually, the only reason they didn't do the fucking X-Men first, because they should have, because they're far more popular. You got to remember, before the MCU, the Avengers were like B heroes comparatively. Nobody really liked them as much as they liked the X-Men, which is precisely why before Marvel was its own studio, they sold the rights to make those movies to Fox.
Correct, and it's a studio issue at that point.
Which then bit them in the ass later because then they couldn't make the X-Men until they bought Fox.
Right. It kind of bit
which was like last year.
It kind of bit them in the ass, but didn't, because Fox was trying to counter it with the whole X-Men First Class thing, which I thought X-Men First Class was great.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I thought Days of Future Past was excellent.
It's horrible if you're going. If it's horrible if you're going off of the comics.
Yeah, Yeah, again, but it's a great film.
Well, no. Remember, our conversation last week
of changing things, right?
Our conversation last week was specifically about how Darren will hate something if it does not match the comic or the original book or script that it was based on.
I know. We're on the same page here, man.
Okay, making sure.
Okay. So to keep you from twisting my shit,
it's a logical issue.
Thank you.
Hold on. What else did I say as far as comic books are concerned? I never read them.
Yeah, but this arbitrary desire to all of a sudden cast things in a dark light because then you somehow learned the true source of the material and decided that's garbage.
By the way,
I had a good time watching it. It's cool.
You should absolutely hate all of the the X-Men movies, because they have completely and utterly butchered Rogue and made her two characters combined into one. They do not bring up Jubilee. They do not bring up
the timeline on the X-Men films is just like all over the map. It's so hit or miss.
What is her name again? Kitty?
Kitty Pryde?
Kitty Pryde? What is it? Kitty Star? Something like that? Kitty Pryde
Kitty
is...
Pryde.
Yeah.
Is it Kitty Pryde or her name is Shadowcat?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't remember, to be honest.
But it was basically they put Rogue, Jubilee, and Kitty Pryde into the exact same character.
Oh, we were talking Brave.
Well, hold on. I don't know about Jubilee as much, because Jubilee is in those films. She's in the background wandering around saying hi, like a Asian stereotype.
Yes, but the thing is that the character of Rogue took the place of Jubilee in the first set of movies. Being that, I don't know my superpowers. I don't know what I'm doing. I hurt everyone I touch.
As an archetype, you're saying?
Well, I mean, literally, not just the archetype, but the actual character itself. It was the whole, we're going to go out and save Jubilee. Like, that's how the...
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is, like, the confused teenager doesn't understand herself kind of bullshit.
Yes. I mean, the whole thing is, especially when it came to the animated series, not so much the comic books, but the animated series, you start that whole thing with
Jubilee doing that, yeah.
I mean, that's literally where it starts, and that's where Days of Future Past starts, is that whole thing of the whole Jubilee going over to, I forget what the hell the resort was that they went to, but that was the whole thing for that. That entire storyline was all based around Jubilee and her being kind of marked in the whole database for mutants, which they kind of kept that.
To your point, it's like if I were to watch a film and enjoy it on those marks, at that point in time I can say and enjoy it. And then if I were to read up on the actual backstory, what is canon or what is previously understood about those characters in that story, like Braveheart, there's, when it comes to historical film, yes, I want that shit to be dead on point. When it comes to comic books, I don't mind changing one or two things about it in order for it to make it relevant.
I still so sorely disagree with this. Dude, you're not going to the theater and watching a movie to learn about history. It's a different execution.
Right. I don't know. I learned all about Pearl Harbor from Ben Affleck.
Oh, Christ.
But here's the thing, all right?
If you want to learn history, go sit in a class.
But that's not exactly... I would find that enjoyable, but not general populace.
But my point is, you're in a classroom. You go there to learn about facts.
Thank you, Mark.
At least we hope these days. That's another.
But I'm going to a movie to see. But I'm going to a movie to see a comic book film. There's gonna be no actual fucking history with it. So
no, you're going to a movie to see a movie.
Yeah.
Just because the source material is based on a comic book doesn't mean it's going to be exactly like it.
Here's the
problem.
Just
like Lord of the Rings was a little bit different, and Game of Thrones is a little bit different, and fucking name a property, it's a little different because.
And Mortal Kombat will be a little bit different, Darren. So just relax.
Learn the exact comic book. How it went in the comic. Read the book.
It's funny that you are just so polarized.
So adamant about this. He's like digging his heels in.
Right? He's like, Mortal Kombat, bad. Green Lantern, all right. Green Lantern was horrible.
I never read those comics. The Mortal Kombat lore I read all about.
Green Lantern isn't bad because it doesn't follow the lore of the comic. Green Lantern is bad because it's a badly made movie.
Yes.
And it's but it's a Ryan Reynolds typecast, so there's some enjoyment factor out of that.
Okay, if you think he's funny, great, and you like that, and that's enough for you, great. But even he can't manage to make that movie good.
Okay,
or funny enough to justify it.
But again, we're arguing.
And he knows it. He constantly makes fun of it.
He does, and rightfully so. I've never disputed that, but I still found the film enjoyable because
fair enough. I knew
nothing about that. I knew nothing about that story, whereas I know everything about this one. Therefore, I'm going to be like every other fucking partial traditionalist, where I'm just going to shit on everything I can, so long as I have a justified excuse to do so. If it's something like Iron Man 1, where they change one thing, like make it towards make the 10 rings in Afghanistan, or a part of the 10 rings in Afghanistan, I should say, to make it relevant to modern day shit like the war in Afghanistan, I'm 100% behind that. If you're going to add things in that just don't fucking make sense, I'm going to just sorry, Mom Jeannie, I'm going to shit right on it. You know?
So I think I found a new name for our podcast, Darren, instead of the everything but politics thing. It is
Shit on Darren.
Not even shit on Darren, but close. It needs to be something about understanding the mind of Darren.
No, I just
it's not that difficult.
Hold on, before we lose this thread.
Yeah, because I actually got to take off. So
hold on, before we lose this thread, what I'm trying to get at is, like, you're saying I'm gonna shit on it because I don't remember exactly what you just said, but the very act that you feel the need to shit on it. Like, okay, here, so I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna steal this from Dave Grohl.
Did you not say before that, you know, there's, or okay, let me rephrase. Is it fair to say that there are traditionalists in every form of entertainment, whether it's Marvel, whether it's Mortal Kombat, whether it's DC, whatever? There are traditionalists that you're never going to win over because of the fact of how rigid they want to be to the comic.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's my opinion, and when I say that, I'm like, I don't understand why.
That's why I led with. Is it fair to say? Because it's fair to say, therefore, it is not entirely truthful across the board. It's just fair to say because that's a general consensus.
You know,
right. But the point I'm getting at is that I think you're diminishing your ability to enjoy things by being that way. Again, I will quote.
See, Dave Darren, why are you like this?
Let me just get this last thing out, and then I will shut my mouth and let you respond. I will quote Dave Grohl on this.
Go ahead.
He said some of the wisest words I've ever heard, because I used to be like this. I used to think like this a little bit. He said, "What does it matter? Pleasure is pleasure." He said this at like South by Southwest. If you like something, are the fucking police gonna come out and arrest you for liking it? Who gives a shit?
Well, I mean,
and that was the year that Gangnam Style came out, and he's like, I think Gangnam Style is one of the greatest songs that has come out this year.
Well, in this day and age, people are just trying to silence people for just being conservative. But
that's a different argument altogether.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you brought the politics up, so that's fine.
I'm not going to get into that horseshit. But what I'm saying is, I don't give a fuck if you like something, man. If it brings you joy, it fucking brings you joy. What I take issue with is the rigidity of being like, well, it doesn't follow the source material 100%. Like, did you like it? I feel like you're diminishing your ability to enjoy it, even though because it exists in a different medium.
Quick pause. I just want to point something out, that whenever Creation is talking to Darren, he literally looks up, and it's like you're looking up on this screen where I have the stream going. It's great because you literally are looking up at Darren as you're talking to him. I just wanted to bring that up real quick. But you're like, it's like me going, so Creation.
Yeah.
I may have completely derailed from what it is I was going to say, because I was talking about whether or not it's fair to say that there are traditionalists in every form of entertainment that you're never going to win over because of how rigid they want the story to be to the original story.
Sure.
All right. I completely derailed from that point because I was going to bring up a point relevant to that, as far as, yes, I am open to certain changes, but there are things as a traditionalist that are not going to make sense. Therefore, it is not going to win me over. Based on just what I see, am I still going to see the film? Probably. But I'm more than prepared to shit right all over it.
I definitely understand that instinct. Because if you like a specific moment and you're like, God, I really want to see that in the film. What's that going to be like? And it's not there, and you're like, fuck, they didn't play my favorite song.
Yes.
And at the same time, there's so many stories with it's not like I don't even know if historical films are a fair thing to talk about. If you were to take a TV show and turn it into a movie, how many characters are recurring in that TV show that warrant the need to go into some kind of backstory? If someone's never seen the show before, they're just going to go see the film. If you do it right, You won't need to see the TV show. You will already have established an understanding of who all these characters are by not having too many characters and not having too many plot lines that the 10 seasons of the show already fucking established. You can get that all out of a film. Well, when you have something as big as the MCU or DC or Mortal Kombat or, pick Lord of the Rings, pick your fucking saga, you can't get all of that enrichment of the story out of one fucking film.
I get what you're saying.
Okay, so
you're saying like this sort of needs to be an episodic thing.
As a traditionalist, I can understand if you're going to do it all in one film, but don't add fucking things. Don't make fucking sense. And again, as a traditionalist, I'm going to shit on that for those very fucking reasons. For someone that knows nothing of the story, which I have said before, you may enjoy if the trailer is as good as the film, then you're going to enjoy it. If you know nothing of the story, you will probably enjoy it. If you're a traditionalist like me who knows the story, you're prepared to shit right all over it.
So I do have to go back a couple minutes ago. Someone in Facebook, Skippy again, actually said, I just started reading Harry Potter with my daughter. We are enjoying finding all the differences between the books and the movies. See, Darren, you just have to find enjoyment in the little things and not hate everything.
This is the olive branch I want to extend to you. I want to extend to you, Darren, on this subject. I would encourage you.
He says, "Fuck your olive branch."
I would encourage you to, definitely, be disappointed if things don't shake out the way you would like them to, but just be like open-minded about it, because I think you're really gonna, unless the movie's dog shit, which it may very well be. No one's seen it. If it's like objectively bad, like Batman v Superman, where even the biggest fan like myself just looks at this and goes, Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, just be open-minded to some of the changes that they may have had to make, because here's the thing. If the movie's awesome and it does really well, that means they're going to make more. And I guarantee they will turn this into what you want it to be, which is an episodic sort of MCU universe of Mortal Kombat, where they will keep churning out stories and storylines. And eventually, if they're smart about it, they'll line all that shit up as close as they can, like the way you were describing.
He is already.
Because that's what happened with Marvel.
He is already shaking his head. Like, he's already, the hatred just has boiled up inside of him.
I don't understand the doubt. Like, dude, you don't think they want money?
Oh, no.
They want money.
No, I agree that they definitely want money, and they're doing it for whatever reason, probably because of the success of MK10 and MK11. They're trying to rally off that. Makes total fucking sense.
Yeah. But you don't make a Mortal Kombat movie unless you know that there are fans out there for it, and you know that people who want to see a Mortal Kombat movie are probably going to be pretty niche. So that means you got to make sure you get your shit at least relatively right if you plan on making another one. If they don't want to make another one, or they're not really serious about it and they just want a cash grab, that's one thing. But if they actually have ambition around a universe around this, they're going to try to do it right.
So he is basing all of his stuff purely off of the casting and not actually seeing anything or knowing anything of what the storyline or anything is. It is.
He's seen a trailer and he looked at IMDb. He has as much information as you and I do.
No. Not entirely off the cast, dude, because I've said it many times. Why not the cast? Why is this character in the fucking film?
I knew that it was going to get brought up at some point.
What if it's a shot from the future?
Oh,
don't care. There's
don't care.
Timeline has nothing to do with this film.
Don't care.
Time travel, not time.
Never seen it. Don't care.
Exactly. Again, it's one of those things.
I am the great prophet of Mortal Kombat, and I don't care.
If you're gonna, as far as that's concerned, if you're gonna butcher the story, then you might as well fuck all, just destroy the whole damn thing and create a brand new story out of it.
And what if they are, and you're not actually giving it the chance to create a brand new story, and they're not going off the comics?
That's not what they're doing in the fucking trailer. That's
I'm over there, but yeah. Darren's there. I'm yeah.
That's not what they're doing in this fucking trailer. Now, again, if it's one of those things,
trailer,
if they're going off of,
you do know they don't show trailers in sequence, right? Like ever.
All right, we're done.
Darren, we love you.
Anyway, I actually do have to go.
Okay.
No, you did say that. Darren, thank you so much for coming in. Mr. Creation, it is amazing having you come in and talk to us and bring insight and help it be a 2-on-1 against Mr.
An
Darren.
Aggressive nerd argument. Yeah.
All right, see you guys later.
Have a good one, Darren. Oh, God, he fucking hates us.
Today he does, and
today,
I understand.
Today he hates us.
We earned it today. I earned it today.
And he picked this fight. He's like, yeah, let's bring Weapon in, and all he has to do is just.
All I'm trying to say is relax, man.
Thank you. That's pretty much all I'm doing. Also, are you going to be streaming anytime soon, or at all, or anything like that? And
I don't know. I think I have a pretty busy weekend. I'm probably going to be working on the weekend, unfortunately.
Okay, I did not give my proper shout-outs like I should have. So, guys, if you're not already, please go and follow Darren Leehorn on Twitch and also follow Mr. Weapon of Mass Creation. They're just awesome guys all around.
Yes, and by the way, I have a lot of affection for Darren. I'm just giving him shit.
Oh, I do too. Actually, I just had someone else come in to Facebook and say, just got in, but in my opinion, I'm excited to see the Mortal Kombat movie. Yeah, I am too, alright? Like, I want to see it because it can't be any worse than Annihilation, alright? The second Mortal Kombat movie was
you are right about that,
trash.
Sir. Holy moly.
So, if it's a step up from that, and the thing is...
Here's the thing is...
It's trash, but I still enjoyed it. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like, who cares, man? You're not curing cancer here. This isn't important stuff.
Wait, what do you mean it's free?
It's on HBO Max.
Oh, so the Mortal Kombat movie's just gonna...
It's gonna be there for you, yeah.
Oh, well then what the hell is he bitching about?
Because he's Darren. I don't know. He's just so aggressive.
All right.
But what I was gonna say was, I live on both sides of this argument. I have been loving comic books and know a lot of this shit since I was fucking this high. I mean, I get it, like, but I also understand. I also love cinema, and I also understand that they are different, very different forms of entertainment, and concessions have to be made. But also, movie making is a business, and if the movie won't make money, they got to figure out how to make the most money it possibly can. Because as I stated last podcast, it's a fucking miracle when a movie is made, even when it's bad, because it's so hard to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, unless you're Michael Bay, in which case you just poop gold and everyone wants your shit no matter what it is.
It's true. I mean, I don't think he makes the best films.
I don't either.
Opinion, but that guy makes billions of dollars every time he makes.
It could literally be flaming, exploding crap, and well, most of his thing is flaming, exploding crap.
Yeah, but like I said, sorry, go ahead. Finish.
Oh no, it's literally just same thing. Like you're right. It is absolutely a miracle, like just a feat of the gods to get that many people together.
Well, you got to think of it like this: if you ran $1 million business a year, you'd be considered a success. No, like pretty good. Like, wow,
yeah.
your company's $1 million business. I don't know, say you sell bicycles or something. I don't know, whatever it is. Like you make your company brings in $1 million, then you have a couple employees, you get salary, blah 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 blah. You have to remember, every fucking movie that gets made is every one of these types of movies that gets made is a multi-$100 million business that employs thousands of people.
Yeah.
That basically runs for 3 years and then they shut it down. They open a business for 3 years and they shut it down, and there's hundreds of millions of dollars into it, and then hopefully it returns like $1 billion. So now you have $1 billion business that happened in 3 years.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And believe me, especially now, they fucking want to make money. And they're going to do whatever it takes to get all the fans and then some on board. They got to get all the sweet spot is hitting the true fans, but also the mass appeal. And that is something. When I say MCU has done something, Marvel has done something absolutely unprecedented, is they have made not only a series of 22 films that culminated in a most incredible finale with Endgame. They have made a franchise that has been inclusive to all the hardcore fans, but then brought in millions and millions of other people who didn't know who the fuck Captain America or Iron Man or any of them were. They didn't give a shit, or Black Panther or any of them. They have pulled off a miracle upon miracles with that shit.
On Discord, not Discord, on Facebook again, Brian threw out another one saying they're touching so many different markets with this, which he's talking about Mortal Kombat again. Action, martial arts, comic books, video games. It seems like a win to me for making this.
Totally. He's absolutely right. Like, obviously Mortal Kombat is a huge franchise. Now, video game movies have a pretty bad rap of being usually pretty bad. Occasionally I think something ekes through where it's not too bad, but let's
really
hope that
liked the first Resident Evil movie, actually.
Let's really hope that this starts to turn the tide, because this is following the same track record as comic book movies. You get this one occasionally that gets made, and then there's like sort of these up and down of quality, but eventually somebody figures that shit out, i.e. the MCU, okay? And then we start getting this raise in quality where you have these really great writers and these really great actors and these really great directors that start taking this shit seriously, and producers that start taking this shit seriously, and then the quality starts climbing. If Mortal Kombat can be one of the first game movies that ushers in a new era of really, really fucking good content from video games, miracle has been played.
Yeah, and I do hope that it's going to be something better than the last blockbuster fighting game thing that came out, which I'm pretty sure was Street Fighter, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was horrible.
Good lord, that movie's bad.
I had another person, he's coming in a little late, but he said, a guy Simon on Facebook, MCU did freaking great, DC did so bad in comparison, though it's hard to come up with an excuse for it.
We've covered that already.
Yeah, he's literally
right. Just rewind the video a little bit.
That was literally like the probably in the first hour we were going over that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yes, we did touch on that already, and honestly, I was just surprised going back to that whole thing, because I wasn't really part of a lot of your guys' DC talk, but just the pure fact that Ben Affleck is in a movie without Matt Damon is a surprise to me.
I mean, but again, this goes back to what I was saying about Ben before. Ben is in a lot of movies that are really good that he wrote, starred, and directed in. Or he at least wrote and directed. Or so you have his first movie that I can remember that he wrote, directed, and produced, Gone Baby Gone. His little brother was the star of that movie. I thought it was an excellent film.
I thought it was really,
really good. Check it out. It's a really good movie. It's about a little girl who goes missing in Boston, and his brother plays a private detective. Ben wrote, directed, and produced that film. Okay. Then his next effort was a movie called The Town, where he starred and directed it. And directed it. And he wrote it, I believe, as well. And it's a fucking kick-ass bank robbery movie. I fucking love it. It's so good. It's got Jeremy Renner in it, and John Hamm, and I fucking forgot her name. She's fantastic too. And then you have what's the movie he did after that? Oh, Argo. Fucking, I can't sing enough praise about Argo. Argo is so good. He directed, wrote, and starred in that movie too. And it's fucking phenomenal film. He won an Oscar for it. It's fucking phenomenal. I know Oscars are objective, like who cares, but like, fucking, it's a great film. It's just a great fucking film. So good. And
so some of the retorts on Facebook are, the MCU did great and everything, but DC smashed the MCU as far as TV series went, because let's be honest, the MCU TV series are trash. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Jessica Jones.
Well, maybe. Okay.
Luke Cage or whatever it is.
See, this is where it's confusing. Marvel didn't make Jessica Jones. Marvel didn't make, not really. They really didn't make the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I believe Joss Whedon had a hand in it, but it's not like really hardcore MCU canon. But if you want to say Marvel makes trash TV, have you watched WandaVision? It's fucking awesome. And it's totally canon.
I have not seen.
And today is Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Supposedly it's great. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what Marvel can really do when it comes to TV. But I understand that the DCU property, the TV stuff, is really good. It's not personally my taste, but But like I get the Flash. I've watched a few episodes of it. It's not bad. I think it's more of like a young adult audience, which is totally fine. It's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
So me not liking it or me not really caring too much about it isn't. I'm not their target audience. So it's a difference between saying something's bad and is it just not for me.
I'm pretty sure my girlfriend watched like all of those things. Let's see. Steve said that Matt Damon is somewhere in Batman. Just check the suits. Jeremy Renner is too good of an actor. And Simon says, Ben pretty much got the rug pulled out from under him from producers who have an idea how to treat comic-oriented subjects.
I agree. I think the biggest problem in the DCEU is it's the very high up people who have now, I think, have gone by the wayside. I do believe they are no longer in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Their biggest problem is they do not respect the properties. Mm-hmm. So they cram out as much as they can, as quickly as they can to make $1 because they want to ride that Marvel wave.
And now it becomes quantity over quality because...
Correct. They didn't plan it. From the beginning, Kevin Feige had a fucking plan with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't show all of his cards right away, but if you watch the freaking the credit sequence at the end of the first Iron Man, Sam Jackson is there playing Nick Fury saying, I'm putting a team together.
Mm-hmm.
Like they knew this shit was going to go down, at least a blueprint of it from the get-go. DC has none of that. What they did is they saw the success of Christopher Nolan's Batman films, which are great, and was like, you know how we do this with the rest of our stuff? We make it dark and gritty. That's great for Batman, but Superman isn't dark and gritty. They don't. DC makes superhero films like comic books that don't translate. Marvel makes genre films.
Mm-hmm.
Ant-Man is a heist film. Winter Soldier is a spy film. Okay, you understand where I'm going with this? Yep. That's the difference. They don't make Captain America films. They make a heist film that has Captain America in it. They understand that different characters require different treatments.
I do think that the darker stuff for the darker stuff for those things, I do think it works. I think that the slightly darker and grittier version of what's it called, of Superman, I did like it. I did like that it wasn't all rainbows and sunshine. But one of the big things that DC, as far as their like not so much their comics, but their like cartoons, their TV shows, like that kind of thing, especially Batman, Batman never kills anybody. And
yeah,
you know, I mean, you could go back to Adam West, you can go back to, you know, Michael Keaton or whatever. Like, you don't kill anybody. Like that's not a thing. You put them in jail.
Actually, Michael Keaton was killing people, but when they really introduced the hard rule of I don't kill anybody, and even then it's still a tad gray, is the Christopher Nolan films, the Christian Bale Batmans.
Well, who did Michael Keaton kill?
Dude, he killed the Joker. He killed. He's responsible for the Penguin's death, and he straight up strapped a bomb to a dude and let him blow up.
Okay, I'll give you that.
He killed the Joker.
Okay. But like going off of the other stuff, like it's just, I don't know. I guess I'm still going back to like the animated series, and because that's a lot of my stuff. Is I didn't read a whole lot of comics. I read a lot of animated series. By the way, your camera's got really grainy all of a sudden. I don't know.
Oh, you know what it is? I can't avoid it. I'm uploading stuff for work.
So got it.
Yeah, I have to do it. Yeah.
No worries. I just want to make sure that. No, you're good. I just want to make sure you're aware of it because sometimes it's showing up proper for you, but it's not proper how's it's going out.
Yeah, I'm sucking the bandwidth right now on my.
It's
upload,
fine.
So.
Okay, so Simon says,
but I want to get back to what I was saying about genre films. Think about this: Captain America: Civil War. That is literally a breakup film.
Yeah.
It's a genre film about a fucking breakup of two guys who are like supposed to be really good friends. You know, the only difference is like breakup films tend to include I don't know, heterosexual couple or even probably gay couples now. I don't know, but it's like couples who, you know, are an item and then they break up. But really, when you break down like the beats that they hit, it's a fucking breakup movie. But the point I'm saying is like they tailor the movie to suit the unique qualities of the character.
Yes.
But the beautiful thing is then they tie them together with a through line. The through line is like they're all superheroes. They're all trying to save the world and shit. You know what I mean? So that really is the difference.
Are you wearing a Captain America t-shirt?
Hell yeah, I am. I fucking love Captain America.
All this comic book and talk and everything else, and all right, so we can see why you're shitting on the MCU so much, or the DC you so much now. We see where you're.
Dude, no. My favorite hero is Superman, 100%. With Batman being a very close second, but it's just about like, and this take everything what I say with a grain of salt. It's an opinion, but I believe that there are objective truths that float around in this medium. And when something is excellent, even if you're uninitiated, that when you watch Star Wars: A New Hope, you don't have to love Star Wars to know that that's a good movie. It's a classic, it's not a very groundbreaking film. It's just the hero's journey, but it's a simple idea executed really fucking well. So good. You get it. Like, it's just good. You know what I mean? We all know that. And it's just, there are certain objective truths in this stuff, even though it's all art, it's all subjective. But some things are not subjective. Some things are just better than others. And we know it when we see it as an audience member. We know when we watch Endgame, we're like, fuck yeah, that was how that shit should have ended. We know that when Captain America, when they teased that moment in Age of Ultron with Cap sort of kind of lifting the hammer, but not really, didn't want to embarrass Thor. But we know that when we saw that shit pay off in Endgame, where he fucking lifts the hammer and goes all lightning on Thanos. So like, yeah, that was like a universal moment. I have watched so many reaction videos where the theater fucking cheers like they're at a goddamn ball game. We all know that is like a truth. That shit was badass. There's no way you can argue otherwise.
Yep. Simon is literally just summing up everything you're saying. In a nutshell, it comes down to MCU makes movies to tell a well-tailored story, when DC makes a movie to make a movie.
You're right. Because DC wants to get on some of that universe money.
So I know
I
that
think they might be course correcting. We'll see, but for now.
So I know that they've already kind of talked about it and everything else, and I don't actually believe that it's a thing. But what do you feel about the X-Men actually coming to what is the MCU that we know it as? I know that they've said that they aren't going.
Stoked.
I know that they've actually brought up that they're not going to do it. That it is something that was not in.
Oh, dude, they are so gonna do that shit. Anybody who thinks otherwise is out of their fucking mind. They are so. Why do you think they bought Fox? They want that fucking X-Men money. Hell yeah.
True.
And they want it in the MCU, and they want Wolverine to be bantering with Captain America, and they want all that shit. It's not gonna happen tomorrow. They're gonna, because as we stated, they've got a plan. So they're gonna roll it out in an elegant way, I think, and it's gonna be awesome. For my money, I think Hugh Jackman is one of the greatest comic book casting choices ever.
I thought he said he was done.
He is done. I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Even though he's a foot taller than the comic book character. Again, not rigid about the material. He's literally
Darren's going to hate that.
Foot taller. But I think he's perfectly embodies the Wolverine, and it's demonstrated excellently in Logan. If you haven't seen Logan, go watch Logan. Logan is fucking excellent. And again, that's not a superhero film. MCU didn't make this one, but what they made there was a fucking Western, man. They made, like, the movie that inspired that movie is in that movie. They talk about it. They talk about the principles of what inspires that movie in the movie. It's so meta. But anyway, point I was getting to is, like, I am definitely curious. I'm open-minded about who they cast for Wolverine. We're just gonna have to see. I hope they can match you. Probably not. I'm gonna try not to be too disappointed on that, but I am more or less interested in the collective that they put together, because I know that they're gonna work it in. I'm confident they're gonna work it in a nice way. Yeah, the X-Men Pietro thing, I thought for sure was gonna usher in the era of the mutants in the Marvel in the MCU, but apparently, I mean, I still think they're gonna use it in some way, but apparently they were just dicking around with us, so we'll see.
Oh, Mandy is bringing up that with the purchase of not Mandy, Marissa. Sorry, wrong
How dare
one.
You?
No, it's
right.
it's my friend's sister, not his wife. But with the purchase of Fox, they got the Fantastic Four also.
Yes, they did, and they also got
wait, hold on. Isn't the dude that does the Human Torch, isn't he in the MCU?
Yes, he is.
How the fuck do you do that one?
Well, he's not going to be Human Torch. He's not going to be the MCU Human Torch.
But like,
they're going to get somebody else.
Wouldn't that be great? Have him?
No, it'd be awful.
That would be so great.
They'd be trolling us at this point. There's no way they would do that. No way.
Honestly, the only thing I really want to see is I just want to see Deadpool in that portion of the MCU, not the X-Men version of it.
Oh, I see what you mean. So Disney has confirmed that they will continue to make Deadpool. I don't know how they're going to work it in because they're still making R-rated Deadpool, and that doesn't exactly slide nicely on Disney Plus.
Oh,
so
they literally said
they're probably going to use it on Hulu because Hulu is owned by Disney Corporation. So anything that's a little edgier will exist on Hulu.
Simon is also saying that his contract is out on Captain, though.
Yeah, he's not playing Cap, but he's sure shit ain't gonna play Human Torch in the same universe. There's no way
what if we just get a new Captain America and he goes back to playing? And they go back to playing the Human Torch.
He's not Captain America anymore, but Steve Rogers still exists with the face of Chris Evans. So there will be a new Captain America. Probably as of right now, there is one because Falcon and the Winter Soldier is aired today on Disney Plus. So Falcon is the new Captain America.
I'm so not caught up on any of that stuff.
Well, anyway, so at the end of Endgame, he hands the shield to Falcon, and basically insinuating, well, you're the chosen one now. So that's what this show is going to explore, I would imagine. That it's going to be Falcon becoming Captain America, which you got to look at it like this. Captain America is like a fucking designation in the military at this point as far as the MCU is concerned. Whoever embodies the icon, it can be anybody. For the MCU, for the stretch of the MCU, it's only been Steve Rogers at this point, but now it's going to be somebody else. So we'll see, but I'm sure that they've got this. Kevin Feige and crew have got an immense reach in this town, and I'm sure they're going to get someone real nice to play Human Torch. And I am, for the first time, excited about a Fantastic Four movie because I can't wait to see how they use Reed Richards and the crew.
I would not mind Jessica Alba coming back. Just saying, like
they could do that. They could do that because she hasn't played anybody else in the MCU, but I doubt that they will because, and it's no knock. I'm not knocking her in any way. She's just older now, and they need someone who's younger that can carry for many franchises, for many movies down. Like Steve played Cap for like fucking 10 years.
Yep.
And 11 years. Like Robert Downey Jr. did it for like 12. So they need someone who can put in like a decade, and still look really youthful. And even Iron Man was pushing it, let's be honest. But
and Simon, she's not. It's fine that she's terrible. She's still really hot.
Well, yeah, that's another point. I don't know if she's a great actress, but
I'm sorry, but like Jessica Alba is just always. Anytime I see her, I automatically think Sin City.
She's absolutely stunning. She's stunning in that movie too. But
up on the bar with the pole, I'm sorry, she's just gorgeous.
But again, it goes back to credibility, man. Like you can't just put pretty people in your movie and expect, hey, we're gonna make movie gold. Like the reason Cap can sell a line like that speech he gives at the end of Endgame, where he's like, "This is the fight of our lives," blah 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 blah, no mistakes, blah 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 blah. And then I don't know about you, but I watched that movie going, "Fuck yeah, let's get him!" Like that was a great fucking monologue, and it was well executed. And for that, you need someone who can do that sort of shit, who has that kind of gravitas, and it's a gravitas that they've earned over so many movies. I don't know I don't know for sure, but I don't think Jessica Alba can do that sort of thing.
No, I'll be honest, she was horrible in that movie.
They need someone who can. She was. They need to bring some.
That movie was just bad. Let's. The Fantastic Four movies are just bad, and she was bad in them. Just
comes back to the people in charge not respecting the property.
But
so,
I don't know. I've just always had a soft spot. Or a hard spot, if you get my drift, for Jessica Alba.
Hold her any ill will. I mean, she's good in certain things, but you gotta cast for the role, man. And back then they were like, well, she's hot, put her in the movie. Well, how are they gonna cut it anymore? There's plenty of hot actresses who can also fucking act their ass off. Let's get one of those.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get one of those.
So I think that brings us to the end of this, though.
You don't want to listen to me drone on about this stuff anymore?
No, it's not that. I think
we got shit to do. It's Friday.
I think the girlfriend's home. I don't know. The dog started like barking and roughing, so yeah, normally these things only go about 2 hours. This one's gone about 2.5 at this point.
Yeah, well, you get me talking nerd stuff, and I seem to be an endless well of it, so.
But again, Mr. Creation, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out, having fun.
Thanks for inviting me. Like, I didn't jump on your stream to co-op it.
Oh no, you're fine. If you have knowledge in these types of fields, that's fine. I need to try to get Darren away from
his hatred.
Well, no, I just need to get him away from Mortal Kombat and frickin' Zelda for a stream, just one. But
maybe that'll be our goal next time, is to see if we can avoid those topics.
I am going to put a counter up of every time he uses the phrase for those playing the home game or brings up WWE, Mortal Kombat, or Zelda, because or Activision Jesus, just because. But like I said, man, thank you so much for coming in, and I will catch you at another time.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Yep, not a problem. Have yourself a good one.
Take care.
What did I need to go to?